Guys, just a heads up, stay to the end of this video to find out how you can enter the giveaway and get a special 10% off discount coupon code thing. Hello everyone and welcome back to Art a la Carte. As you guys know, I am always on the lookout for new art supplies or fun, interesting things I think you guys might be interested in. So when I learned about the products that ColorIt offers, I thought you might be interested. Now, for those of you who don't know what ColorIt is, it's a company that produces a wide variety of coloring books and art supplies to color said coloring books. But what really interested me in their products was their sets of markers, which I was interested to try out. They're alcohol-based markers, and I wondered how well would they compare to like Copic markers. So I was pretty excited when ColorIt contacted me and wanted to send me some of their products to try out and show you guys. So how did the ColorIt markers compare to Copics? We're gonna find out. But before I get into talking about their products, let me have a little disclaimer. This is 100% my personal opinion. I'm gonna tell you the things I like about their products and the things that maybe I don't like about their products. Like I said, ColorIt produces a wide selection of coloring books. So they sent me a really good sample, I think, every single coloring book they have, which was a ton. So I'm just going to show you a couple of them here briefly before we get into the art supplies that they sent me. So let me tell you, if you enjoy the coloring books that have just the regular patterns and geometric shapes, they have a great selection of coloring books for you. Or if you're like me and you like coloring pages that have more of a picture to it, like animals or scenes, locations, architecture, things like that, they have coloring books that you're gonna love too. I was not expecting to like their coloring books as much as I did. In fact, when I started going through them, not only did I like them, but my family descended upon me like a pack of wild hyenas wanting coloring books. And so I have like dibs on all of my coloring books. I was like, wait a minute, I haven't even got to look at that one yet and you're stealing it. So they have coloring books on dogs, cats, places, food. You guys, the pictures of food that they have in some of these coloring books. Whoa! Another one that I think is really fun is their Around the World in 50 Pages. Great title, by the way. And it has all these locations. The only thing I wish that this coloring book had was that listed the locations somewhere, maybe on a back page, said page number 12 was, you know, Kathmandu or something. I don't know. They're not all just the Statue of Liberty or Eiffel Tower, Big Ben. There are some locations that I'm like, this looks familiar, but I don't know where it is. Other things that I liked about these coloring books was that the paper quality is amazing. It holds up to markers really well, and I'll show you that a little bit later in this video. The other thing is that they have the binding at the top of the book instead of on the side, which if you're a left-handed person, you can understand how awesome this is. They purposely bind it at the top so that most of their coloring pages are equally comfortable for right-handed people as for left-handed people, which thank you for thinking of us lefties. I appreciate that. So again, I didn't show you even all of the coloring books that they have, so if you want to see their full selection, I'm going to have a link to their website in the description box below. You can definitely check that out. And in the description box below, there is a coupon code for 10% off of any of their products. So if you do purchase anything from them, make sure to use that coupon, get yourself some savings. Okay, so now let's move on to the art supplies. ColorIt offers 3 different types of art supplies. They have gel pens, color pencils, and their markers. And they sent me sets of all 3. I'm going to review the markers in this video, and then if you guys want to see an in-depth video on the color pencils and the gel pens, let me know in the comment section below. But I'm going to give you a quick I'm going to give you a quick overlook at each of these products. So the first one I'm going to show you, and I have to say I'm super excited about, is the gel pens. And the first thing that made an impression on me on all of these products is the packaging. The box of the actual case comes in. It has like a magnetic lid so that when it closes, it has a magnetic shut so it's not going to fall out. This set also comes with refills for the gel pens, which I think is awesome. So inside you're going to find the gel pen storage case, which contains 48 different gel pens. Now I have to tell you, I want to love gel pens, but I've never found a brand of gel pens that I like. Generally, I will get it, I will draw for 3 or 4 minutes, and it will eventually clog up, and that's it. It's done. I don't know. Have you guys ever had problems with that? Let me know if you guys know a solution to it. So I'm excited. I have tried out a few of these gel pens, And from what I see, I love them. The ones I played around with were their sparkle set. They have 24 glitter pens, which I love my Spica glitter pens. And these pens are just as glittery as a Spica glitter pen. They also have 12 metallic and 12 neon colors. So moving on to the colored pencils. Again, in a nice packaging. Inside you're going to have your storage case, which actually comes with a pencil sharpener included. But I really like how snug and fit these pencils fit into the storage case. I was really impressed. One thing about colored pencils is you want to make sure that they don't bump together. The more they bump together, the more you're going to break the lead inside. So I'm always looking for some way to store or travel with my colored pencils so they don't do that. And this is a great case for that. Again, there are 72 different colors in this set. The brand of color pencil that I have always used and enjoy is Prismacolor color pencils. And I also have a few Faber-Castell color pencils. So I'm kind of interested to see how well these color pencils match up to those. Now the moment we have all been waiting for, how do these markers compare with Copics? The full marker set comes with 50 markers, and it comes in this really heavy duty travel case, which is really a nice quality. It also has this great little plaque that says ColorIt, and I can't tell you guys the satisfaction that I get from peeling off plastic off of things like this. Let's just take a moment. Yeah, that was awesome. Back on task. Let's look at the markers. Like I said, there are 50 markers in here in a wide variety of colors. I'm going to do a color swatch in just a minute, but first let's look at the actual markers themselves. At first glance, they look relatively similar to a Copic Classic, which has more of a square shape. These ones have a rounded triangular shape, which is nice. It helps them not to totally roll off your desk. The markers come with a chisel nib and a fine point nib, which I have to say for me is a little bit of a down point because, as you know, I love the brush tip for the Copic markers, but that's just a personal preference to me, so if that's not a big deal to you, I don't think you would find that a problem at all. They also have the gray stripe around one end, which lets you identify which end has the fine tip nib and which end is the chisel nib. Their markers are slightly longer than a Copic marker, but felt fine in my hand. They weren't too heavy, weren't too light. They were just a good weight and comfortable to hold. But it's not about what's on the outside, it's what's inside that counts. Beauty within, not without. That is what markers are all about. So let's see how these markers compare on paper. So first I picked this red, and it took me a while to find a color from Copic that matched it, which after I got the two colors down, I sometimes forgot which one was ColorIt and which one was Copic. Definitely says something. I think the quality of ink has a good saturation, has a good vibrance to the color. Testing out the nib, I did a thick line with the nib and a thin line with the nib. Again, I've always had a preference for a brush nib, but thinking back to my very first set of alcohol-based markers, I used Spectrum Noir markers, which did not have a brush nib, and I used those markers for about 6 months before I made the switch to Copics. And it wasn't the brush tip that made the biggest difference for me. It was the quality in ink from the Spectrum Noir markers to the Copic markers, how well they blended. So that's the next test I want to do, is to see how well these pens blend together. Before I can choose out a couple of pens to blend, I'm going to need to do a color swatch. So that's what I'm doing here, is swatching all of the colors out. I get a lot of comments and questions from you guys asking what colors should you purchase for a startup kit. But if you're wanting to try out alcohol-based markers, this is a good startup set. It gives you all the color families and then a good color grouping. And the color grouping is important if you want to blend things. So you'll notice that in the greens, there's not just one shade of green. There's a darker, there's a mid-tone, and there's a lighter shade. And in pretty much all of the colors, you're going to find that dark, medium, and light tones on all of those. The only thing that I would say is missing from this color selection is some really, really good skin tones. I love myself some skin tones, but I understand you have a limitation. You have to choose 50 colors. You're not going to get all the colors that you want. For choosing 50, I think they did a great job. So now let's get to the last big test, which is the blending. This is what sets Copic markers apart, is their ability to blend beautifully. So I'm going to go ahead and choose out 3 colors from each set. I'm actually surprised at how closely these match. After I place them down, I would not be able to tell you which one is Copic and which one is ColorIt. The colors are spot on, beautiful, vibrant colors. The markers are juicy. I'm really seriously impressed with this. I'm going to take the Copic markers and blend those out. The trick with blending out Copic markers is starting with your lightest tone first, then placing in your middle tone and then your darkest tone, then going back to your middle tone, blending in your dark and middle tone, and then grabbing your lightest tone and blending your middle tone and your light tone together. And by doing that, you should have a seamless gradient that goes all the way across. Now I'm going to go ahead and try this with the ColorIt marker. Again, they don't have the brush nib, so I'm going to use the chisel nib. I'm going to lay in my 3 colors. I'm going to go back with my mid-tone, and I'm going to blend the dark tone and mid-tone together. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the light tone and blend that together and see how well it works. And I am impressed. Now it's not as smooth. I can see a little bit of a difference. But then you have to realize that I use the brush tip for the Copic markers, which is designed to help you create gradients. Hence the reason I love brush nibs. So to do a fair comparison, I'm going to have to use the chisel nib from the Copic marker. So let's go back to my 3 Copic markers. I'm going to do this with the chisel and see what the blend comparison is. Holy cow! As you guys can see, the blend is exactly the same from the Copics to the ColorIts. Using the chisel nib, exactly the same. So these markers blend fantastically. That's awesome. So the only thing left to do with these is to take it for a full test drive. I'm going to color a picture from one of their coloring books, and I have to tell you, this was challenging to pick a picture. Oh my goodness. First of all, there were so many coloring books to choose from. I would decide to go ahead and choose from their newest coloring book that they just released, which is Blissful Scenes. It has 50 different pictures on it, and I think I'm in love with every single picture. Even the title page is amazing. So I ended up choosing this fun hummingbird picture because I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. I've posted a few pictures. We have hummingbird feeders in our front yard and our backyard, and our hummingbirds, I don't know how they raise their families because they never stop fighting. They are always just chasing each other away from the hummingbird feeder and just sit and guard their hummingbird feeder like it's the last thing they could ever do. So I thought this was a fun picture, and I really enjoyed coloring this a lot. So it made me think, if I enjoyed it, with someone who is just beginning their art journey, when they find these coloring books intimidating, would they have a hard time using the markers? So I decided to ask my 7-year-old niece Eva to come and color a picture for you, which she was super excited to do. And I also wanted to do one final marker test, which is something that I would never test my Copic markers with, which is to let my 7-year-old niece color with them. It could be really easy to damage these markers and then, you know, they're done. So I went ahead and let her color with them and let her choose which color she wanted, and she had a blast. Another good point to these markers is they're also sold open stock, which I think is awesome. A lot of times when you get packs of markers, when one dries out, you have to buy an entirely new pack of markers to replace the dried out markers. Well, here you can just go ahead and purchase the markers individually. But again, there's a 10% discount code in the description. You use that and it will save you some money. I asked Eva while she was coloring what were some things she liked about this coloring book and the markers, and she said that she liked the style of the art because a lot of coloring books don't allow you to make rainbow cats, and this would allow her to make the very colorful cat, which she did make an extremely colorful cat. She also said anytime I get tired and don't want to make a video, that she's fully prepared to come up and do more coloring pages for you guys and teach you guys how to color in coloring books and how to draw. So let me know if you guys want to see more art videos with Eva in them. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there is going to be a giveaway. The people at ColorIt wanted to offer one of their products for you guys, and they asked me to choose which one I thought you would like the most. I know which one I want to ask for, but I was kind of nervous. So I decided to give them a selection. I would pick a few different things that I thought you might like, ranging from small prizes to not so small prizes. So the first prize that I recommended you guys might like was the Best of ColorIt, which is a selection of 30 different pictures from all of their coloring books. So no matter what style of coloring book you like, whether it's the patterns and designs, mandalas, things like that, it's in there. If you like more architecture or scenery, it's in there. If you like animals and plants, it's in there. I love this one. The second item that I recommended for the prize pack was my favorite of all the coloring books, which was actually kind of hard to choose. I really like the cat and the dog one. So I ended up choosing this one that I colored the hummingbird out of, which is Blissful Scenes. There are 50 pictures in this one, and I don't think there is a picture in here that I don't like. Like this one. Why did I color this one? This one's adorable. So then you guys, I decided, go big or go home. What's the worst that could happen? They say no. So I did it. I asked them to give away a full, complete set of markers. And they said yes to all of it. Not just one, they picked all 3. The price pack is both coloring books and the complete 50 set of their markers. I haven't been so excited about a prize pack since I gave away the graphics tablet. So I just want to say thank you to everyone at ColorIt for not only sponsoring this video and helping me to continue to create content for Art a la Carte, but also for creating a super amazing giveaway. So to find out all the information about entering the contest, I have a link in the description box below that will take you over to the ColorIt website. Go over there, enter the contest. I'm super excited to see who wins. And also, if you purchase anything on their website, make sure to use that 10% discount code. So for those of you who have been watching this video and think this kind of has been just a gigantic commercial for ColorIt, but I want to explain something really quickly. When you guys send me pictures of your artwork, I get this excited. I love doing the showcase videos where I show your guys' artwork off because I love to encourage your guys' dreams and goals. I love to celebrate your achievements. So when I get messages from you saying, I just sold my very first piece of artwork, or I entered an art competition and won, or my art piece just got a really great grade in school, I am excited about that. And that's why I'm excited about the ColorIt company, because they are not this ginormously huge corporate company. The ColorIt company is a family-owned business from people like you and me. They're a family that loves art and loves to encourage people to create art. This video is more about me being excited about seeing a fellow artist have a dream, have a goal, and begin to achieve it. And I just want to encourage you guys too. Maybe you have a goal of wanting to create something, whether it's a coloring book or a comic book or an art book, or you want to be an animator or a graphics designer. Whatever it is, whatever your dream or goal is, work hard, do the research, practice, whatever it takes to achieve that goal, because you never know, one day you might be holding your dream in your hand.